All right, if you're heading out on the water for the 4th of July, a lot of others will be out there as well.
That's right. Everybody loves that around here. We have some important reminders, though, and some safety tips for you, especially because part of our First Coast is considered at higher risk for boating accidents. First Coast News' Shelby Danielson joins us live with those safety tips. Shelby.
Well, hey guys, like you said, we're at a little higher risk. We all love the water, of course, especially on holidays, but Duval County is one of the top 10 most accident-prone counties across the state of Florida when it comes to boating accidents. And they said mostly it's because of inattention or boating under the influence. So I have my top 5 tips for you guys. This is from the FWC, so this is important, especially if you're new to boating. The first thing they say is to have a float plan. Now, that means you tell someone else where you're planning on going and what time you plan on being back, because if you lose service or you go off course, someone will know what time you are supposed to be back. Very important. Another thing is make sure you have the proper equipment on board, and you want to make sure it's not expired, because FWC says JSO will be out here. They'll be checking, especially on a holiday, so you don't want to get fined for no reason. And another tip is to not boat under the influence. That's not just the tip, that's actually the law. So you can have an open container on the boat, but you can't be under the influence, especially if you're driving the boat. It carries the same weight as driving under the influence. Another tip for us: bring a weather radio. We're going to talk to Lauren Rautenkranz about that in just a second, but you want to know what the weather is like, especially in Florida. We have lightning almost every day, as many people know. And lastly, the most important tip is wear a life vest. You need one for everyone on your boat.
You have to have a life jacket on board for each person, and one that fits. If you got small children, then you need a small life jacket. You know, a lot of people say, well, I can swim, so I don't need to wear my life jacket. Well, if you get into an accident and you get knocked unconscious, you may not be able to swim.
So, very important advice there. More than half of the boating deaths that happened in Florida last year were because of drownings, and obviously that's preventable if we wear our life vests. And I'm going to make my way over here to we learned this term earlier, Lauren, the bow. The bow. I almost said the bow. The stern. Gosh, we're learning so much.
I know, we have learned a lot. And you mentioned those weather radios.
Yes.
They are so important because not only do they give you the official forecast, the warnings, if God forbid any do come out, they are very reliable, okay? So talk about maybe some things if you get caught in a thunderstorm, or just how to be a forecaster with us if a nearby thunderstorm is in the vicinity. So you would maybe hear that AM radio actually have a little static. Those clouds would become lower, thicker, darker. You may even see flashes along the horizon. You know what? Also, the temperature can drop pretty rapidly. The wind can pick up and the wind can change direction. So these are all signs that you need to take these certain little safety tips, okay, if you happen to be out on the water during a storm. So of course, if you can, the number one thing is to head close to shore and seek shelter. But if you can't, you want to turn on all your running lights. You want to reduce your speed just enough, though, so you're able to keep some headway and approach those waves at a 45-degree angle, okay? So just a couple of little tips. But now that I think we are safe and we are going to have an awesome 4th of July, I'm going to take a little nap. We're heading into shore. But gosh, this is awesome out here. Thank you, Freedom Boat Club, for having us. I'm going to toss it back into you guys.